Okay, this is it. Another comparison you've been waiting for with the CA Corvette Z06 and another supercar, that being the R8 V10 Performance. Now, as you know, Chevrolet did benchmark against the V10 R8, and price point wise, these two both represent affordable mid-engine supercars. As you can see, both of these supercars look absolutely amazing on this cliff line. Got the ocean way out there in the view. Let me introduce you to the owner of the R8, that being Brandon. How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Good
How you doing?
to see ya.
Good to see you too.
How you liking it? These two, I mean, the experiences are unlike most other exotics on the market today, right?
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, I was on the list for one of these and still am. And I got to say, I love it in person, and hearing it coming up the mountain today was amazing. I needed to get into something. I wanted something now. You know, I've waited quite some time, and the waiting list for that is kind of crazy. So ended up finding a deal on this and went for it, and I got to say I'm very happy with it.
I think you made a good choice because, like I've said a few times already, we're not going to find many cars like these anymore in the future because, as you know, times are changing, right? We're seeing a lot of the big brands drop the cylinder count. We're getting 6 cylinders like the new Artura, the latest Ferrari 296 GTB. It fully makes sense why I think Chevy benchmarked against the R8, because both being naturally aspirated and the price point, it's crazy to think that's a Corvette now, and it's competing against cars like this. Everyone knows what an R8 is. It's an icon in the car scene. What it offers, it's similar to a Huracan, right? Because they're all both owned by the same parent companies and so forth. They use the same engines essentially, but this is a supercar designed to be more livable, to be driven on the street and not be too much of a look at me car. Whereas this is very much of a look at me car with all the crazy dive planes and the huge spoilers out back. This is classy, this is clean. This is more of the American track car vibe. That is where I think both these cars really do differ. This car is much more focused on being a race car, track car for the best lap times possible. My Z07 has the carbon fiber rotors as well as the R8, but this having Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2Rs and carbon fiber wheels, it's more focused on being as lightweight as possible and having as much rubber contact to ground in the stickiest way possible. That brings us to an interesting dilemma. Will these cars really be cross-shopped? Now, with current market conditions, I would say they're pretty close to each other in price. His spec is again over 200 grand, and dealerships are marking up Z06s to 200 plus grand. My car out the door with taxes was right around 185. They're really, really close. Obviously, if you want more of the track car, go after the Corvette, but I think both cars, again, really offer an experience that is hard to find in this era of new-gen vehicles coming out. Let's go ahead and start them both up and see how they sound back-to-back. Having the V10 that is so similar to the Huracan, this car has one of the meanest-sounding exhaust notes on the market, though I think the Corvette will sound more high-pitched. You gotta let me know in the comment section down below. Hey, Brandon, I just noticed something, man. Look at the design cues between your R8 and the Z06. Your car's got much more sleeker, curvier lines, right? What are your thoughts on the Z06 in comparison?
Honestly, I like both, and they are different. You are a little more squared off in the rear, and this
is
a little more of a round, hip. But that's obviously because you can put your golf clubs in your car, and I can't.
Oh gosh. Look at that burn. I have to deal with that on a daily basis.
I'm
going
jealous as a golf enthusiast.
Oh, you actually
too.
golf.
I love to golf.
It wasn't a burn.
And no, I can't put my golf clubs in my car, but you can.
I have a reverse compliment back to you. I wish I had less space out back because I love how shrink wrapped your body actually looks. Because having all the extra space on the Z06, it almost seems like the car is sticking out extra far or extra tall to give you more rear trunk space and so forth. Interesting how different the designs really are. Hey, Brandon, why don't you pop your trunk and let's see, can you fit golf clubs back there? Is there enough space?
I don't think so. We'll see.
That's all you got. Not very convenient, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fit much of anything in there. I don't think my wife can fit her purse back here, to
oh
tell you the
my
truth.
Gosh. I really do love all the exposed carbon fiber you have. I wish Chevy offered that, because for where the engine is, in the engine bay, you get a lot of, it almost looks like plastics or hard composites. This is really clean. It does come off.
Well finished.
Yeah, come off well finished.
Well. it's definitely a point too. Like you go to Cars and Coffee, you go to, you know, anywhere where you want to show it off, and you pop that open, and you know it draws attention to people too to check it out.
All right, here we go. Popping the huge deck lid in the back. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. Look at all this space they've got back here.
Definitely can, you know, fit the golf clubs in there. There's no doubt about it.
You'll be cool.
Chevy was thinking for sure.
They should definitely put like a active spoiler back here. There's enough space, right, for all the hydraulics to lift it up?
Absolutely. Little air brake.
That would be perfect. But like I was saying, look at all this hard composite, different metals and so forth throughout the engine bay. If you get this on exposed carbon fiber, that would be awesome. Finally, moving to the LT5, the 5.5 liter V8 in the back, 670 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. I wonder, how do you think that they got more power out of less cylinders? Just newer technology?
Blows my mind. I'm not a motorhead at all, and just it does. It's mind-boggling.
We gotta do one thing. Got both cars together. We gotta do a rev off.
Let's do it.
V10.
That's what I came for.
V8.
I came for the rev off.
We're gonna echo down the mountainside.
Dude, let's do it.
Let's do it. Alrighty. Brandon, that was sick, man.
But I got an idea. How are you going to compare them by just looking at them? I think you need to drive it.
Oh, really? Oh, you're too kind, man. Oh, I love your key. R8 matches perfectly. Let's hop in there. You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You have push button start?
No, I don't.
Oh, bummer for you.
I know.
That's the only thing.
Hey, something else?
What?
I have a real mirror, not a camera.
Oh, you know what? I'm going back in time now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the 1920s.
But it's frameless.
Oh, gosh. That's cool. Yeah, I don't like the ones that have the huge frame. It's like a big piece of plastic that wraps around. That never looks good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
All right, here we go. Getting a feel for the R8.
Gotta shift.
Oh my gosh, the way it sounds, man. Having all-wheel drive, the way you can exit a corner just blows your mind. It's so sure-footed in the brakes, the carbon ceramics. The bite on it, very gradual. So it seems like one thing I have noticed with it is, yeah, it's not as high pitched for sure as the Corvette. It's got much more of a deeper tone, kind of like the Huracan does, but I guess it's not flat plane crank, right? It does sound different, but the red line is neck and neck. I think you're right about 8,500, is it?
Yeah.
That the red line?
8586.
The way the power comes on, these NA motors, man, the power band is just so smooth with the delivery. One cool thing you can do though, being all-wheel drive, I think the launch on this car will blow away the Corvette. Do you mind if we test it out down here?
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Tires are kind of cold, but we can see what it does.
Hey, but the pressure is a bit lower, so more grip. Let's try it out. You ready? It just doesn't spin, does it?
Oh,
it's just pure grip the entire time. All the backfires you get with it.
Yeah, and this is all completely stock, this car.
It's fun, dude. This is the everyday supercar. It'll blend in, look good, like nothing else on the street, but also drive smoothly and fast. You feel how smooth that is in the corners? The all-wheel drive, it doesn't ever give you the feeling that I can kick that tail end out right away. I do have to say the Corvette feels more aggressive, it's more raw. I think you would hurt yourself faster in the Corvette. Like you can get in this car and drive fast, and it's an easy and very forthcoming experience, I would say. It's not too aggressive and intimidating. like it just feels, you get comfortable in it. The car shrinks around you. It's a very smooth car. I think on track, if you put on cut 2 tires, some sticky R compounds, you would really enjoy it.
That would be interesting.
Those backfires and pops. Oh gosh. Definitely I can feel in the upper RPM, the pull is much more powerful. It's kind of, it has that issue that a lot of high revving cars have where anything below like 3,000, right? There's nothing really there. You gotta rev it out. But what do you call that issue? Not really, right?
It's enjoyable.
Rev it, enjoy the car. The suspension is definitely more soft and more comfortable. The entire car just, it's very comfortable to go fast in. You forget how fast you're going.
Yeah,
really.
I can't drive this car in anything but performance mode.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's just too comfortable. It's not what I want. Like, I want it more raw.
Yeah. Alrighty, you want to hop in the Corvette now?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, dude.
All right, man.
First time to Corvette. Different, right?
Well, the sound alone inside the cab is night and day. I mean,
Louder,
holy
right?
smokes, it's way louder in here than it is in my R8. And yeah, definitely feels more raw, like we were talking about. Still comfortable though. I mean, surprisingly,
comfortable? This is track mode.
I think it's. I'm saying the seats and like the way it feels in here. I think it feels comfortable.
Really?
But yeah, definitely the raw is what I'm saying as far as with track mode.
Okay,
Right?
I got you. Yeah. You can pull both paddles in.
Yep.
Dude, these NA cars, man.
So awesome.
Last of an era.
Oh man, that's so fun.
You hear the rocks in this car, but you don't hear in your car.
Yeah, but would that be the tires you have on this?
Yeah.
They're a lot stickier, I would say.
A lot stickier. You hear that? That's just rock after rock after rock.
It's crazy. Yeah, following you in the R8 when we were coming up here, you can just see them, just you picking them up and just shooting them at the same time. It's crazy.
I think this car, the weakness it does have versus your car is it's definitely, when it comes to daily driving and so forth, I don't think it's a very good car for the everyday situation because these tires are so sticky. If they're cold, they don't hook up. The car, it wants to have, it has that aggressive, go fast track car vibe at all times, but when you go on the street, it just makes life kind of hard. I do agree though with you that the interior is comfortable, you have amenities, but you know, driving on the street here and those rocks hit you all the time.
That would be kind of annoying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of stressful, but that's why you got to put PPF on your car or just don't get any rock chips. Feel the more power in this?
I think, yeah, I can feel the torque.
Yeah.
I can feel that you have more torque. There's no doubt about it. It just feels more raw. Just, I mean, it's a lot different. It makes me think that when Audi releases the new R8 GT, it's going to be a little more comparable to the Z06, I would say, because yes, you're going to still have the same motor as my car. You're going to get the carbon ceramics, but it's going to be RWD instead of AWD, which is going to be like this, because since this is a rear-wheel drive as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I think, a really good comparison, a little bit better comparison, but unfortunately, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
So, it's going to have more downforce.
Just like this,
aero.
it's a 12 track special, right?
Exactly. Those downshifts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't need turbos. I'm convinced. You can can have a lot of fun with an NA car.
And I'm sorry, Chevy knocked it out of the park with this exhaust. That tone,
so?
oh my gosh, it's really good.
No
really
need to
good.
go louder?
I don't think so. Dude, you were spinning like crazy.
So, yeah, that'll show you that in these conditions, the tires, the Z06 is at a disadvantage for sure compared to your R8 having all-wheel drive, right?
Exactly. So, Austin, one thing that really stands out to me getting in the Z06 is all the carbon that they have inside this car. The way it wraps around the whole dash, you know, up this whole center console area, and then the door sills as well. Even on your seats, you know, you got carbon.
Yeah, right behind me.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I wish my car had that.
All right, Brandon, how to get your impressions? What do you think?
I'll tell you what, man. Driving this thing, it's definitely tight, comfortable, and I really, really like the feel with the tightness of the steering and the way these paddle shifters feel in my hands, and just these downshifts as you're going. Woo!
Like a
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
Okay, here we go. Just got out of both cars.
I'll tell you what, that was a blast, and having both of these NA cars together was just such an experience. You know, you got the naturally aspirated V10, you got the naturally aspirated flat plane crank
V8
Z06. It was a lot of fun, Austin.
I can't boost mine. I have no interest to put turbos on my car. It sounds so good as is. You don't have any turbos really hindering on the exhaust note itself. That's one complaint you see a lot with other cars in the market. They don't sound as high pitch or as visceral. These two cars, they nail that, and it's going to be sad to see them go in the future.
Yeah, we're at the end of an era.
One thing I would do for sure, man, you got to do an exhaust. You got to get more sound out of that V10. It's a must.
I have no plans next week, so I guess that's what we're doing.
Okay, maybe straight pipe. If you don't care about your neighbors, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Altogether, if you were to wrap up a few things that you like about your car, then dislike, and same goes for the Corvette on honest opinions right here, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything or fake it out. I want to know honest thoughts.
I would say I wish this car had a front end lift.
Okay.
I wish I could start my car from outside of the vehicle.
So the amenities you're talking about.
Yeah, the amenities.
Yes.
But as far as the performance goes, they're both really good, but both different at the
Very
same time.
different.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare cars that the focus is very different.
I think Chevrolet priced the car appropriate. It's priced perfect, in my opinion. And if anybody would say that's not a supercar, I would say they're crazy.
In summary, please let us know in the comment section down below. What do you think about these two cars together? The sun's going down. Wow, so beautiful right now. Look at these two cars with the sunset. Comment again what you think. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to follow Brandon on Instagram. What's your Instagram again?
Property driven.
Property driven. Anyways, I'll see all of you guys in the next episode.